Hi, my name's Becky from Retro from Scratch, and I'm going to talk to you today about how we can make ourselves seen at the craft fair. And the number one thing I want to talk about for me is it clear what it is that you sell? And this has been a huge problem for me because I take old books and I recycle them and turn the covers into notebooks. The finished product still looks like a book, a children's book. So on first glance, it's not clear that these are notebooks. People will see them, recognise them, hopefully, but they will see children's books. So for me, it's crossing that barrier. How do I get them from seeing what was a children's book and now understanding it's a notebook? Another misconception is that people will see them as children's books and assume they're for children. And of course they're not, because these are old children's books. These are vintage. This one's from the 1970s. And so actually this appeals to somebody who is in their 40s or 50s that remembers having this book when they were little. So when people are shopping with you at a craft market, they want to be able to see what you sell very, very quickly. Is it clear? So my business name is Retro from Scratch. It tells you nothing about what I do, apart from retro, so kind of like older, cool stuff, bit different. And from scratch, handmade. And I purposefully did that because when I set the business up, I didn't actually know that this was the way I was going to go. I was actually dabbling in a few crafts and then the notebooks stuck. So when it comes to the table banner and table display, as much as I should put my business name on there, it doesn't explain anything. And so what I did is actually created a banner myself and wrote the words nostalgic notebooks, a clear explanation of exactly what it is on the stall. And so I display this on the banner on the front of my stall, which is great. If you are standing from afar, you can read it. But if you have got a busy craft market and people are walking past, then of course people are not going to see that front of your table. And so then you need to think about having some height and getting the name out there in other places. Now, a really good way to see if people can see what you sell is to take a photo of your stall setup. Now, you don't have to, if you've never done a fair before, that's absolutely fine. Just set it up on your dining table or just on the floor at home. Get a tape measure, measure out your 6-foot table, lay it all out how you would have it at the fair. Take a photo as low down as you can so it looks like, you know, what it would at a fair. And then share it with somebody who doesn't know like what you do or doesn't know much about what you do. Share a photo with them for no more than 5 seconds and ask them, can they see what it is that you sell? Now, obviously, if they already know what you sell, this is a bit of a disadvantage. So perhaps don't give any explanation, just a quick flash and just say, what is that a picture of? And then see, you know, ask them some questions like, what is it? Could you see what I was selling or what was for sale on the table? And then obviously use that feedback to then have a think about what could you make more clear. Now, one of the ways I've overcome this problem is to write the word notebook on everything. So we've got nostalgic notebooks on the front table banner, but we've also got it on every label. So my books sit in boxes and on the front it says notebooks. It says lined notebooks, plain notebooks, notebook, 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 notebooks, then notebooks. Even then, I will tell you, people do not read, but I couldn't make it any clearer if I tried that they're notebooks because I've written that word all over the table. So I have noticed it has made a huge difference actually. So when people come over, before they used to go, oh, look at these old books. Oh yeah, do you remember those? And that's great, that's brilliant. They're looking because they like old books, so that's fantastic. But they haven't clocked their notebooks. Whereas now what I'm finding is that people are coming over, they're having a look and they're going, oh, look at these, oh, they're notebooks. Like they got it so much quicker than people had got it before. So I know that that definitely makes a big difference. Or the other thing people do is someone will be looking through and then their friend will join them, and then they will explain to their friend their notebooks, and then the person will go, oh, like that. So yeah, so it's great. It's almost like they feel like they need to explain that they've like their notebooks, like they discovered it for themselves. Brilliant. I didn't need to tell them that they were notebooks. Another way is to actually display the notebook open. So if you can see this is open and there are no pages in there, that would be weird if it was a normal book, right? So this is a clear indicator that this is a notebook. So as well as the notebooks, I also sell pens, and they're great because they're like a little impulse buy. So £3, cheap and cheerful, really helped me when fairs have been a little bit tough and it's been a bit harder to make those sales. £3, you can't do wrong. So having something that's a lower priced item is actually really helpful. But most of the time people will be buying a notebook and then buying a pen to accompany it. But obviously if there are pens on the stall along with the books, that would be weird if they were just books. It wouldn't make any sense. Because they're notebooks, it makes complete sense. And then the other thing that I have is an iPad, which I display with behind the scenes. I was actually at a Christmas market in Camden, and there was a guy selling these wooden bird feeders. Now, it literally was a piece of wood in a kind of like weird S shape, and it was genius. It was such a cool design. You basically like insert plates into it and then you can hang it up and yeah, use it as a bird feeder. He also did plant pot stands, and it was so good that I got one for my mum and one for my mother-in-law. But on its own, it would have made no sense. But what really got me was the fact that he had an iPad which was playing how he made it, how he designed it, how the wood was cut. And he also then had around the display examples of like fake tree and one hanging up and then a little fake bird on it. And so I could see exactly what it was. This guy would not sell these pieces of S-shaped wood without that clear illustration, and I really think the iPad was a really good way to show that. Now, I just use a carousel of photographs and I have them moving, so they just move up, but you could also just use a photo frame if you don't have an old iPad or tablet or you're worried about like the cost of it or security. And you can get an iPad stand from IKEA or on Amazon. I will pop it in the links. I really think that people love to see how it's made. Now, it's not possible for me to make my notebooks at the craft market. Like the kit that I use, equipment is huge. I can't just bring it along with me. So showing videos or showing photos step by step, people like that and they get that connection and they can see it's made, because a lot of people always say to me, oh, did you make this? So they don't need to ask that question anymore. It's really clear. So if you follow any of these tips so that you can just share and show exactly what it is that you are selling, then you're definitely going to be on the way to making more sales at craft fairs. I would love to know if any of these tips have really stood out to you, so do share in the comments, let me know. And if there's anything else you'd like to hear about from me, then do let me know. Now, I also have a free guide which is called From Browsers to Buyers, and it's 14 pages with 7 very helpful steps that you can take to make more money at craft fairs. So if you would like to download, I'll pop the link below. Like I say, it's completely free, and I just want to share this knowledge with you and make craft fairs the success that they should be. So I will be back here soon with some more tips. If you don't already, then please subscribe on YouTube, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and all the other social media places. And I will be back here very, very soon.